Hi and welcome to Knitting Blooms. This is episode number 121 and today is Thursday, October 17th.
A long time in the making with outstanding results, Barmaids delivers yet another excellent skincare formula. Simple ingredients, quick absorption, it's a healthy skin choice. ICE Serum is the perfect daily nightly eye treatment. With nourishing and protective antioxidants, this lightweight formula absorbs easily into the skin to deliver stunning results. ICE Serum is a powerful combination of natural ingredients which encourages skin regeneration, leads to tightening and toned skin due to astringent qualities, and contains potent antioxidants which help to slow down the visible signs of aging.
Hi everyone, my name is Tina. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so happy you decided to do that. I know that many people are going to Rhinebeck this weekend, and I thought that I would just go ahead and record a podcast for all those people that are unable to go to Rhinebeck for whatever reason. And this way you'll have something fun to watch this weekend while you're wishing you were at Rhinebeck, because I can tell you that I will be wishing that I was at Rhinebeck. But honestly, if I went to Rhinebeck right now, I would want to spend money, and that is just not in my budget right now. So I'm recording a podcast. I don't have very much to share with you this week. As you know, if you're a longtime viewer, for the past few months over the summer, I have been recording every other week, and it's been working out great for me, but today has been kind of a rainy, dreary, cold day, and I kind of just wanted to come home and sit down and chat with you guys and share some fibery goodness with you, I guess. So that's what I am going to do. I had Sammy on my lap, and I thought she was going to get back on my lap, but apparently she's decided to go sit somewhere else. So it's been a really dreary day today, and actually this afternoon I was kind of starting to feel like I was getting sick. The boss called in sick today from work, and he said he was running a fever, and I was kind of glad that he didn't come to work, because I kind of hate it when people come to work when they're not feeling well, especially running a fever, because that probably means that they're contagious. But yeah, by about 3 o'clock, I was feeling like I needed a nap, and probably could have taken a nap, but instead I just powered through and had a cup of coffee, which might be a bad thing. I might not be able to get to sleep tonight, but it is what it is. So I'm hoping that I'm not getting sick, because I really need to paint this weekend. I have painted 5 of the last 7 days, and we're getting close to the point where the main part of the bedroom is painted, which means that then I can put back all of the furniture back into that room. Even though the closets might not be completely finished, because we still have to put doors on the closets, we still have to put the closet systems in, we still have to buy the closet systems. But yeah, we'll still have to do all that. But the way that our room is set up is you come up the stairs and then you come down a long hallway, and that's where the closet is down the hallway. So we'll be able to put the bed back in place. We'll be able to move our dressers back upstairs. We'll be able to put the TV back up there. I'm hoping to be able to move a chair up there from the living room, either the chair from the living room or one of my IKEA chairs, because I'd like a place that I can sit when I go to bed, that I can sit and read for a little bit, because the way that our bed is set up, and we have a headboard that's not really a headboard, it's kind of like a bookcase where it's got an open spot in the back. It's not really that easy to sit up and read, and I don't really like to read laying down. Plus, when I read laying down, I tend to fall asleep pretty quickly. So I'd like to have a chair up in the bedroom where I can just kind of sit right before I go to bed, and then just hop into bed when I'm ready to sleep. But if I'm getting sick, I'm not going to be able to finish painting. And although I hope to have everything painted by this weekend, I don't know if that's going to happen. I always have high expectations for stuff like that. And then things take a little bit longer than you expect. But it will definitely be done before I leave for Knitting in the Mitten in 2.5 weeks, I think it is. I have 3 weekends, I think, before Knitting in the Mitten. But I need to do some outside work as well. Although I can do the outside work in between waiting for paint coats to dry, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. So as long as I don't get sick, I should be good to go. So what else has been going on this week? Let's see. I've been catching up on podcasts. If you follow me on Instagram, I was down to, I think it was 17 or 18 hours the other day. And actually today, whoops, what did I do with my phone? I think today I was down to 7 hours. I did kind of mark a few as read. I like when people say that they declared podcast bankruptcy. I think that's funny. I did mark a few more podcasts as watched, and I did some resorting and stuff like that, and I think I'm down to under 7 hours of video podcasts. Now, I still have quite a bit of audio podcasts to listen to. However, I have like a 3-hour drive to Knitting in the Mitten and a 3-hour drive home. So I think Michelle and I will be able to get quite a few podcasts listened to during that time. Now, usually we don't listen to podcasts the entire time that we're in the car because we like to chat a bit. But I would say a good hour, maybe 2, that we'll listen to podcasts. We'll see. So, but I have been catching up on podcasts, and I'm just going to continue to try and catch up. I might have to do some marking some of the audios as listened to. I don't want to do that just yet because now that I'm getting caught up on the video podcasts, I might be able to start listening to the audio podcasts instead. So I've been doing that. I also wanted to mention, a lot of people continue to ask me about when Steve's going to be on the podcast again. And I've been trying to get him back on the podcast. He seems to think that he has to have a script. That he can't just sit down and talk. But last week when I was recording, or I was getting ready to record, he came home just before I was going to record, and he wanted to work out. And I record in the basement where he would normally work out. So I said, okay, I'll wait until you're done working out, because it would only take him. He does a Susanna workout, and it would only take him, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. So I waited until he was done working out. But as I had all the equipment set up, the camera and the lights and everything, and he sat down in my chair right here. And you know how Mr. Rogers used to come in and change his shoes and put on his sweater and stuff like that? He sat down and he's singing the song that Mr. Rogers used to sing and putting on his shoes and stuff. And had he not been in his underwear at the time, I would have turned on the camera and videotaped him. But he does not believe in dirtying a pair of clothes to work out, especially when he's working out at home inside, and nobody's going to see him. So he exercises in his underwear. I think it's pretty funny, but yeah, he does not want to dirty clothes. So I decided that was probably not what you guys wanted to see, so I didn't record. But he continues to tell me that he will eventually be on the podcast, but he has to have his script ready before he does. So I'm going to keep encouraging him, and hopefully sometime in the near future he will join me on the podcast or have his own little part of the podcast. Who knows? Who knows with him? He's a nut. What else? That's about it this week. I don't have a lot to share with you this week, but like I said, I just wanted to sit down and chat with you and give you something to keep yourself occupied this weekend while everybody's at Rhinebeck. I don't have any knitting to show you this week because although I did make some progress on a couple of projects. One of them is my mystery shawl that is coming out later this month. And I'm not going to show you that because obviously it's a mystery shawl. So you don't want to be spoiled. So that is almost done. I think I have 4 or 5 rows left, and then I can take that off the needles and block it. And actually, I'm going to do a blocking tutorial. I've been asked by a number of people to do a blocking tutorial. So I'm going to see what I can do about doing a blocking tutorial with that shawl. Now, obviously, you won't see that blocking tutorial until the mystery knit along is over, because if you see it, then you'll know what the shawl is going to look like. But at least this gives me a good opportunity to show you how to block. And it's actually, the shape of the shawl is a different kind of shape. I've actually never knit a shawl in this particular shape, but I think it'll give me a good opportunity to show you how you would block something in this shape and get it to be a different shape. So that will be coming up. That will probably, the mystery knit along ends at the end of November, so I'll probably post that the first part of December. But again, about the mystery knit along, the pattern is currently available. It's called Transitioning to Winter. It is currently $3. The full pattern will be $6 after the second clue comes out. So it's going to be $3 through the first clue. And when the second clue comes out, sometime that week, I'm going to raise the price to $6, which will be the final price of the pattern. There will be 6 clues that will come out at different intervals because the different sections are going to take different amounts of time. So no point in giving you a section that will take you, a couple of hours to complete and then have you wait an entire week for the next section. So the first clue will come out on October 29th. I'm looking at Marty. I don't know what he's doing over there. Then the next clue will come out November 1st, then November 11th, November 14th, November 21st, and November 26th. And then I've already started a progress and chatter thread. So please jump in that thread. There's already been a ton of discussion about what yarn people are going to be using and so forth. And it's been a lot of fun just seeing the yarn that everybody's choosing. And I kind of bought some more yarn. I can't remember who it was, but they posted that they are going to use this bright pink yarn from Garn Studios. And it was so pretty. I had to find out if I could get some of that same color. She's actually in the UK, I think. And so I found a place in the US that I could order it, and I ordered it, and I might be making one the exact same color that she is. It's just so pretty. I had to get it. So yeah, so everybody's been talking about their yarn choices. Oh, and if you are going to participate in the North Cabin Fiber Crafts knit along, then you can double dip if you make the transitioning to winter shawl with North Cabin Fiber Crafts yarn. So, and that brings me to talk about the coupon codes, because last week I recorded about coupon codes, and I don't know what happened to the segment. It just disappeared. I don't know. Usually I just put the disc in the computer and it downloads all the segments, because sometimes I stop and start the camera depending on what segments I'm doing and if I need a break or whatever. And for some reason that segment never got downloaded, and then the next day when I came home to record the spinning tutorial, I said, oh, I've already edited the podcast, I can just delete, and then it was missing. Anyway, so in regards to the coupon code for North Cabin Fiber Crafts, because you have until the end of October to order your yarn for the knit along that will start November 1st and run through the end of the year. And you can do, it's going to be a knit along, crochet along, spin along, whatever, anything with her yarn or fiber. So, and that coupon code is, hang on, I gotta find it on here. The coupon code is Knit Blooms 2013, and it's for 10% off. So, I know she posted an update last weekend. Lots of great colorways. In fact, I might have to just pause because I wanted to show you what I'm going to be spinning and knitting during the knit along. So hang tight 1 second while I grab that. Okay, sorry about that. I thought about this. I've been thinking about it all week. I need to pull that out. I need to get it ready so that it's ready for the podcast. And then I sat down without it. Anyway, I'm going to start a pair of socks. And they're going to be with this yarn. This is, the colorway is Going Green. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 450 yards, and it's in her Iditarod base. So I'm going to be casting these on November 1st, and I'm going to be knitting them. And I'm very excited to be using her yarn because I have this, and I think I have 2 other skeins of her yarn. I haven't knit with it, but I'm very excited to do that. So I'll be casting that on, and I'm also going to be spinning. And I originally was going to start this on the on my ladybug and spin it on my ladybug. However, since I'm going to go to knit in the mitten, I wasn't going to bring my mini spinner with me, but I think I might. So I haven't decided yet. I'll decide between now and November 1st when I start spinning this. But this is, the colorway is I'm Yours, and it's this great pinks, greens, and a little bit of purple. And it is 100% superwash BFL. Now I have 8 ounces because I have this one and this one. So I haven't quite decided how I'm going to break up this fiber to spin it. I originally thought that I was going to just break it into pieces, you know, split it down the center and then Navajo ply it. But then I thought, well, maybe I will try doing a thicker 2-ply. I'm not really sure. I guess I just have to wait to see how it all turns out. But that's what I'm going to be working on during our spin along, knit along. And I'm hoping to get this all spun up and my socks completely knit during the knit along. So again, that coupon code is Knit Blooms 2013, and it's 10% off of your order. So there's still time to get out there and place your order before the knit along starts. And like I said, if you plan on knitting the Transitioning to Winter Shawl to be posted for prizes, then you can double dip in both knit alongs. The other coupon that we have this week is Angela on Ravelry. Her Ravelry ID is, I didn't write that down, but I think it's AMCGARRAH. And I ordered one of her patterns last week, and she contacted me and said, thank you very much for ordering a pattern. I want to give your viewers a coupon code. And let me see if I can go over. I thought I would be able to quickly go over to her page. Hang on, I'm going to go to my library and click on the pattern that I purchased. Oh, I've kind of purchased a few patterns since I bought her pattern. Okay, I ordered the Mayflower shawl, and I'll show it to you. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a screenshot, because everyone seemed to like that last week, and then I will post it for you. Then that way you can see it a lot better. But I ordered the Mayflower shawl, and she has a few patterns. I forget how to go back. On my computer, I can swipe my mouse back and forth to go back and forth, but on the iPad, I don't know why you'd think that they would have the same gestures. Anyway, so I ordered the Mayflower shawl, which is a beautiful pattern. It's got a garter stitch at the top and then some lace edging. And like I said, she's got a number of, I think she's got four shawl patterns. No, I'm sorry. Yes, 4 shawl patterns, a hat pattern, and a cow. Let me see if I can do it this way. Okay. So, she's offering a $1 off coupon, now that I've twisted my iPad all over the place. So, go and check out her patterns. Actually, I did link her in the show notes, and that's when I realized last week that I didn't have that segment in the podcast, because I went to go do the show notes, and I'm like, I don't remember editing that segment. And then I went back through and scanned through, and nope, wasn't there. Anyway, so she has 7 designs, and they're all fabulous. So she's offering $1 off until the end of the month with the coupon code BLOOM. Just until the end of the month. So get out there and snap up your patterns before that coupon code expires. So that takes care of the knit-alongs and the coupon codes that are upcoming. What else? So yeah, I didn't do a lot of knitting this week. Like I said, I was focusing on my patterns, the shawl pattern that I'm trying to finish the sample of. And I finished writing my sock pattern that's going to coordinate with the shawl pattern. That went out to testers today. And again, the sock pattern will not be coming out until the knit-along is done, the mystery knit-along, because, again, it coincides with the mystery knit-along, and I don't want everybody to be spoiled. So that will probably come out the first week in December or thereabout. And quite happy with the outcome. It did take quite a bit of finagling to work out the pattern. I wanted it one way, and that didn't work out the way I had planned, so it took me quite a while. Actually, I thought the sock pattern was going to be easier than the shawl pattern, and as it turned out, the sock pattern was just as difficult. But in the end, I think I got the pattern that I want for the socks, and I think everybody will really like it. So let's talk about spinning, and I have some spinning to show you. I finished applying my loop bump, and it turned out really nice. That's gonna when I put it real close, it kind of washes out the color. I don't know why. Anyway, there it is. And you know how some people say that as they spin, the longer they spin something, the thicker they get because they just want to hurry it through? I think I'm the opposite. I think the longer I spin something, the thinner I get. Because when I first started applying this, and obviously I haven't taken it off the bobbin, but when I first started applying this was really, really thin. Like, I'm thinking lace weight or a very light fingering. But as I look at the stuff that's closer to the end, it's more of a reasonably sized fingering weight. Let me see if I can get a good shot of it. I mean, that's like a normal fingering weight. So I'm hoping that it's not too drastically different from end to end. I think what I really need to do is do what I did when I spun the fiber for my mom's shawl. When I spun the Giggle Jelly for my mom, was that last year? Can't remember. Might have been last year. At the beginning, I took I spun some fiber, and then I pulled off a piece and wrapped it around a card, just the single, and then I pulled off a piece and made a 2-ply and a 3-ply with it, just to see how it was going to turn out. And I didn't do that with this, and I think I probably should have, because when I spun the stuff for my mom last year, I was constantly, it was 12 ounces, and I was constantly going back to that card and looking to see, okay, am I still about the same, you know, drafting the same and getting the same size single. And I think that I really need to do that with every project, especially projects that either, I mean, this one took a few months only because I was really struggling with it, but I don't think I did it with my fiber nymph either that I'm spinning for my sweater. And I probably should have, but because I'm spinning 6 braids that are going to be combined, you know, differently, you know, it's going to be a 4-ply, so I can mix and match the different braids so that I get something that's, you know, somewhat balanced. But yeah, anything, because you never know how long it's going to take you to spin it. I think I just need to keep a mental note of that in the future, because I'm just afraid there's going to be a real drastic difference with this from the beginning to the end, and then from the end to the beginning. But it's done. I actually finished it this morning. I thought I would finish it last night after I got distracted from my workout. I got off the treadmill and sat down and plied this. It was almost done last night, but then Sammy decided that she had to have attention right that moment, and there was no finishing it. So I did not finish it last night, but then this morning after I worked out, I had a few extra minutes, so I sat down and finished that up. So I will probably take this off of the bobbin probably this weekend sometime, and wash it up, and then I'll show it to you next week when it's all in the hank. So that's my spinning. I am, where did it go? I'm still working, like I said, on the fiber nymph, the custom colorway for Knittopia 2013. Haven't made much progress on that because I was really focused on getting that loop bump done. And I'm still spinning the Into the World fiber at work. If you were on Instagram, you saw a little bit of that earlier this week. After I posted that picture, I haven't really worked on it since then. But today I did spin a little bit on my drop spindle, which is the wool gatherings. I spun on that for a little bit at the office today. But other than that, that's it. And then, like I said, I want to get started on the North Cabin Fiber Crafts, but I have to decide if I'm going to do it on my mini spinner or on the Ladybug. I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably going to take the mini spinner with me. I wasn't going to take the mini spinner with me because I just didn't want the extra bulk. Like I told you before, I'm trying to pack light for these events now. And I figure I don't need to take the mini spinner, but I think that sometimes at night or early in the morning, it's just that relaxing. You don't have to think about anything kind of thing, and it's just a nice thing to be working to work on when you don't want to have to really use a lot of brain power. But I can also take, you know, socks, or I was also planning on taking my sock yarn blanket, but maybe I might need a break from knitting, so who knows. Okay, so I have a review for you today. I was contacted by Rebecca of the Wool Wide Web, and that is a company that does marketing, social media marketing for fiber-related businesses like knitting and spinning, crochet, whatnot. And she contacted me and wanted to know if I was interested in doing some reviews. And I said, absolutely, I would love to. So she asked me to do a review of a yarn store in Sarasota, Florida called A Good Yarn. And here's their logo. And they can be found at agoodyarnsarasota.com. Let me double check that just to be sure. I guess I did have that in my notes. Yes, it's www.agoodyarn, sarasota.com. So what's cool about this shop, and I was going to try and show you some screenshots, but the website doesn't come up well on the iPad. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that, but it will encourage you to go and check out the website yourself. So go to www.agoodyarnsarasota.com, and I'm going to see while I'm talking to you about it if it comes up better. No. I was thinking maybe it would come up. Oh, it does. Okay. It comes up better when I turn it landscape mode. So I'm going to just take a few snapshots so I can kind of put those in for you. But this company is in Sarasota, and yes, I have never actually physically been to the yarn shop, but if you go to their website and you see the pictures that are scrolling on their front page, you will see that they have a gorgeous shop, and it makes me want to go and shop there. Really, it does. And they have yarn. They have yarn. Hang on, let me go back to that other page. I wanted to see. They have yarn, spinning, weaving, and beading. So what's cool about their website, though, is, like I said, they have a scrolling ad, and I have to say that I think that the pictures on this part of the shop, I guess, I don't know. Here's another picture of the shop, but the shop looks amazing. I don't know what I was looking at earlier. Actually, let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. Now you can get some great pictures. The shop is amazing, and it really makes me want to go and shop there. I mean, the colors are just, they're just like all my colors, all bright and pretty and awesome. And the really cool thing about this yarn shop is that they have some custom dyed colorways that are exclusive to their shop, and I know that you will want to run over to their shop and their online shop, and if you live in Sarasota, run over to their store. But they have some colorways that are exclusive to their shop, and I'm just letting this scroll through because I'm taking a few screenshots so that I can put these in the podcast. And actually, I'm just going to go back now. So on their website, they list all of the different yarns that they carry, and they carry quite a few. And in addition to the yarns that they carry, they have, like I said, custom colorways that are dyed exclusively for their store. And that's what I'm going to show you today. I have one of their custom colorways. But the companies that do custom colorways for them are the Three Irish Girls, Lorna's Laces, Madeline Tosh, and Yarn Love. So I'm just going to, some of their colorways, they have all of their custom colorways on their shop, which is awesome. So you don't even have to go to their store. You can order directly online. And you can also order some other items online as well, but they don't have their full stock online. And I'm waiting for this to load in. They don't have their full stock online. They only have a few select things plus their custom colorways. But all of their custom colorways are listed online. And like I said, some of them are really fabulous. And I'm going to go ahead and show you while I'm waiting for this to load. But the one that I got was from the Three Irish Girls. And I only have one other skein from the Three Irish Girls. They used to be, I think they used to sell on Etsy or something like that. But I think now they're focusing more on selling to yarn shops. I think they're also now at the Loopy U. But this is their Dorn stock, and I think the colorway that I got was for some charity drive. I can't remember. It was a while ago. But this is their Adorn sock, and it's 80% merino, 20% nylon. And it's 430 yards. And this is the Fit for a Queen angelfish colorway. And isn't that just gorgeous? I might be casting this on soon because I'd really like to try out this yarn. But they have so many different colors. The other color that I really liked, what was that one? It was their, I think the colorway is called Sweet Lips. And let me see if I can, it's on Lorna's Laces. It's by it's their shepherd sock. And I'm trying to see, I'm gonna, oops, nope. Okay, here we go. Now I can take a nice big picture of it. So this was the other color that I really, really liked. And they have team colors. They have, I don't know what USF is. It's green and gold. And then they have an orange and green, which is for Miami. They have UF, which is orange and blue. I mean, I'm sure that if these are your teams, you would know. And they have UCF, FSU, Rays, and Bucks. So again, if you guys know those teams, then you will know. And I think all of those are dyed by Lorna's Laces for them. Yes, it appears that all of them are dyed by Lorna's Laces. They have sport worsted and sock, the shepherd sport worsted and sock. Like I said, this one is done by the Three Irish Girls. And I think all of this colorway is done by the Three Irish Girls. I'm not familiar with their bases to know all of them. The other one that I showed you, the Sweet Lips, is shepherd sock, so that's by Lorna's Laces. And then they have some Madeline Tosh as well. So go and check out their shop. I think that you will be very happy. Their service was fabulous. But in addition to that, we're going to do a giveaway for a free custom colorway of your choice. So I will start a thread so that you can go over and enter to win. And what I want you to do is go over to the A Good Yarn Sarasota website, which I will link in the thread on Ravelry, and let me know which one of their custom colorways that you like. And also list the base, because if you win, then I will contact Susan, who is the owner of A Good Yarn, and let her know what colorway. And actually, I still might need you to contact me, because I'll have to have your address so I can give it to Susan, because she's going to send it directly to you. So yes, go over to their website, check out their about page, because the about page is where all the pictures of all the shop is. And it's just a gorgeous place. Really, it does make me want to go take a drive down to Sarasota and visit the shop, because it just looks like a lovely little store to visit. So go check that out, and then go to the thread and enter to win. So I know I'm recording on an off week, and typically I record every other week, and then we have a VKN every other week. But we are still going to have a VKN this Saturday on the 19th. I think that's when it is. I think that's the day, the 19th. Somewhere in my notes I have it. Yes, the 19th at 6 p.m. And I'm hoping that everybody who's not going to Rhinebeck will have a chance to hop on to the VKN and chat with us and hang out and knit for a few hours and just have a good old time. So I will post a link in the Ravelry group. I have a link in there, or a thread in there, for the VKN. And just go to the last post that day, and the link will be in there. Don't try and click on any of the previous posts, the links, because they probably won't work. But just go to the last post and get the most up-to-date link. The last thing that I'm going to talk to you about today is one of the questions from the What Have You Always Wanted to Know About thread. And Life Full of Laugh, Life Full of Laugh contacted me and wanted to know about knitting for hire. Now, knitting for hire is, I want to distinguish the difference between knitting for hire and test knitting. When you are a test knitter, like the test knitters that I got to test my most recent pattern, as a test knitter, you are getting the pattern for free, and you will knit the pattern using your own stash, and then you keep the finished item. But knitting for hire, and plus, for a test knitter, if you make a mistake on the garment or whatever, it's up to you to decide if you want to reknit it. But as somebody doing knitting for hire or commission knitting, typically you are supplied the materials, and then you have to give the finished object to whoever's hiring you, because usually it's for a sample for their pattern or a trunk show or something like that. And in a case like that, if you make a mistake and you have to reknit something, typically you don't get paid for that extra reknitting time, but you really should take it out and fix it, because it's a garment that's going to be used for show of the pattern or for the designer. So knitting for hire or commission knitting can be a bit stressful, especially if you're in a time crunch, because usually the designer or whoever's hired you has given you a deadline that you need to meet. So it's not like, oh, I'll just do this when I want and whatever. I mean, maybe some people are like that when they hire you. They don't care when they get it, as long as they get it at some point. But a lot of what I have done has been for a specific deadline. You know, they'll give it to me and they'll say, I need this in 2 weeks, or I need this in 3 weeks, or whatever. So at the time that I'm given the project, I have to decide, can I devote my time to make this happen? So that's kind of the difference between knitting for hire and test knitting. Now, when I got started, I kind of fell into the whole knitting for hire thing. At first, I have a couple friends who are designers, and I started doing a little bit for them, but at the time they were just budding designers, and they weren't giving me too much work. I think I knitted one item for somebody and started to knit a second one for her, but then kind of the patterning never worked out and whatnot. But then I went on to Ravelry. There are a number of groups on Ravelry, and I'll link all of them in the show notes that I have, for test knitters, for designers. I think there might be a group for people looking for people to hire. But the thing is because you're being paid for it, most designers will not be able to pay you to do a test knit, for instance. Like for me, I sell my pattern, but by all means, I do not make a living on the patterns that I sell. The people who are going to pay for knitting for hire are most likely going to be designers who make their living on selling their patterns. You need to get introduced to those people that make their living on their designs and cannot knit all of the things that they want to produce, and then go from there. I think that there was a thread that I ended up going to and finding out, okay, here's some designers that are looking for people to do some work for them. I contacted them, and usually the first pattern, they like to kind of test you out, test the waters to see how good of a knitter you are, and there's a lot of critiquing, and then they can choose whether they're going to continue working with you or not. But you need to find those designers that cannot knit all the things that they want knit. And so I did get in contact with a couple of designers that I did that with. I did a number of projects for one designer, and that worked out well. She actually lived in the area at the time, but then she moved to another state, and then it was harder to do business with her. And then there was another designer that I think I only did like one pattern. I only did one design for her. So I'm not sure if she just wasn't happy with my work, or what exactly happened there. Or maybe she just wasn't designing as much. I really haven't checked her pattern page to see. But yeah, that's how you get to know people, to get into the knitting for hire. As far as how much do you charge, well, that's kind of a case-by-case basis. When I first got started, I had no clue what to charge. I kind of just let the designer tell me, well, this is what I've paid other people in the past. I'm like, okay, that sounds reasonable. Let's go with that. So I think it was like 15 cents a yard or something thereabouts. And then as I got more comfortable with what I was doing and how long it took me and stuff, then I kind of adjusted my pricing, to meet my needs. If it was required a lighter weight yarn and it was more lace work, then I might charge more. If it was a thicker, bulkier yarn and it was all stockinette, I might charge less. It's really a case-by-case basis, and you can change the price. Usually what would happen is the designer would contact me and they'd say, this is the pattern that I have, and there would be an agreement on pricing before any knitting happened. In some cases, you are also doing a little bit of tech editing on the pattern. There's one pattern that I knit that I pretty much helped to totally revamp the pattern, because it was going to be 1 million pages, and I'm like, I don't know who's going to want to have a 27-page shawl pattern. So I ended up helping her to revamp it a little bit, and it was a lot shorter after that. But so sometimes you have to do that. I mean, that can be worked out as far as, are you going to do that, or no, I'm not going to do that? Is there going to be an additional fee for that kind of thing? That's all worked out with the designer. The next part of the question she asks, I've already gone through whether the yarn is provided or do you have to provide the yarn. And again, the designer will usually provide the yarn. Very rarely do they ask you to use your own yarn or acquire the yarn and then give them the sample. Usually they're working with a yarn company, and they've received the yarn from the yarn company to knit the garment, and then it goes back to them. And one of the questions is, does knitting for hire take away from your personal knitting time? Yep, it does. And sometimes it dominates it. I know there's been times in the past where I've been on a time crunch, like if somebody gives me a pattern and they say, I need this in 2 weeks, everything else has to stop to do this one project. And if you're the kind of knitter that likes to just relax and just do knitting and do what you want to do and enjoy what you're doing, knitting for hire is probably not for you. Because unless you're going to have somebody who wants to pay you to just do it at your own leisure. But typically it is, a deadline. So yes, there has been times that I've done knitting for hire that I haven't got any progress on my own projects for a couple of weeks because I'm on a deadline and I need to get it done. And I'm pretty good about judging how long it takes me to do something, and then kind of mapping out a plan. If you are a longtime viewer, you would have seen my plan for the Even Star. that I wanted certain things done by certain dates so that I would have it complete by a certain date. Because that was a project that wasn't a deadline technically. It didn't get finished exactly when I wanted to get finished, but it still gave me a plan to get the whole thing completed. So I like to do that with my Knitting for Hire projects a lot of the time. I'll figure out, here's the deadline, what do I need to do between now and then to get it done by this deadline. And I usually give myself a couple day buffer, because we all know that life happens and something is bound to get in the way, and you may not get to do all of the steps that you think you're going to get done. And I think that's about it. I haven't done Knitting for Hire in a long time because I've just been podcasting. I mean, I did some knitting since I've been podcasting, but with podcasting and doing these tutorials and just doing my own knitting, I really haven't had time to do Knitting for Hire. It was nice doing Knitting for Hire because it gave me a little bit extra spending cash for my knitting supplies. But yeah, I just haven't had the time, and I really haven't seeked more designers to do it for. Occasionally, one of my friends, she might ask me to do something, if she's in a time crunch, then, absolutely I'll do it for her. But, I haven't really pursued trying to find other designers that need that service. But they are out there, and like I said, you're going to find the people who make their living with it are the ones that are going to be able to pay for the service. So that's about it. If you have any other specific questions about Knitting for Hire, please feel free to PM me, or you can post in this the episode thread and ask me the questions, and I am happy to answer whatever questions you have. Okay, that's all I've got for you this week. I got a little rambly there, but hopefully you got a lot out of this episode. I actually thought this episode would be sort of short, but then like I said, I got a little rambly. But yeah, I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope your knitting blooms this week. I am going to hopefully get some painting done this weekend, and hopefully by next week the painting will be done. Hopefully. So yeah, enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.
Breaking news, you can be even more kissable than you are right now with Lolo Lips by Barmaids. The makers of the exquisite Lolo Bar has one of the best lip balms available. Some lip balms can cause your skin to dry out if you stop using them, or if you lose them. And let's face it, we all lose them. This product doesn't force you to reapply in order to maintain the healthy, balanced levels of moisture ideal for beautiful lips. It comes in 8 tasty flavors with no paraffins, no fillers, no dyes, just natural lip moisturizer that has everything your lips want and nothing they don't. I dare anyone to try it and not feel like an addict. Kiss me, Lolo, I'm in love.